Every single day starts with 1,000 little choices, right? You wake up and you think, what am I going to wear today? You're scrolling online, you're at a store. What should I buy? And then, of course, the big one. What do I post online? Now, you probably think you're making all these choices just for yourself. But that's not really the whole story, is it? The reality is, almost nothing you do is truly private, because everything you do is a signal. So yeah, let's dive into that. This idea that every single choice, from your shoes to your silence, is a broadcast, a message telling the world who you are. We're going to explore this hidden language of human behavior and see how society is constantly, and I mean constantly, reading you. At its heart, the idea is actually pretty simple. You're not just a person walking around. You're a transmitter. Whether you mean to or not, you are always broadcasting information about who you are, what you value, and where you fit in. And here's the kicker, you can't just opt out of the game. Choosing to be a minimalist, that's a huge signal about your taste and values. Staying quiet in a meeting, that signals something too, maybe confidence, maybe something else. Even trying to act indifferent sends a powerful signal that you think you're above it all. Society reads everything. So how do we make sense of all this? Is there some kind of framework for understanding it? Well, yeah. There's a name for this invisible grammar that secretly governs how we all interact with each other. It's called signaling theory. And look, it's not just about us humans. Every living thing does it. A peacock frashes its feathers, a wolf snarls to show dominance. But we take it to a whole other level. We signal through culture. Our clothes, the music we listen to, our jobs, it's all part of an incredibly complex coded message. And this one theory helps explain some of the most fundamental parts of our lives. We're talking about who we choose to date, our political views, our social status, the groups we belong to. Signaling is the invisible current running underneath it all, helping us navigate this incredibly complicated social world. But why? Why rely on these signals instead of just, talking to each other? Well, it comes down to one word: trust. See, anybody can say they're smart or wealthy or kind. Words are cheap, but actions, the signals we send, those are much, much harder to fake. We've literally evolved to pay more attention to what people do than what they say. And this brings us to what is maybe the most important part of the whole theory. For a signal to actually be believable, for people to trust it, it has to have a cost. It kind of needs to hurt. The classic example, of course, is the peacock. That incredible tail is so heavy, it's clumsy, and it basically paints a giant target on its back for predators. It's costly to have. And that's exactly why it works as an honest signal to a potential mate. It says, look at me, I am so strong, so healthy, I can afford to waste all these resources on this beautiful, totally useless tail. And guess what? We do the exact same thing. That expensive designer handbag, it's not just a bag. The cost signals wealth. Having an incredibly fit body, the sheer time and discipline it costs signals your dedication. Earning a PhD, the immense effort it costs signals deep knowledge. That cost is precisely what makes the signal credible. So let's just boil it down to one key idea. The price of a signal is what makes it trustworthy. It's the entire reason luxury goods exist, not for their function, but for what they credibly communicate.
Okay, so let's bring all this into our world, the modern world. Because this theory is absolutely timeless, but you better believe the internet and social media have completely changed the game.
In our digital age, expressing certain moral and political beliefs has become a primary way to signal status. You know what I'm talking about. Posting just the right kind of outrage or compassion signals that you're part of a desirable group. In this new economy of belief, morality basically functions like a luxury brand. And then you get to the real 4D chess of it all, anti-signaling. This is when the most powerful signal you can send is to look like you're not signaling at all. Think about the tech billionaire who only wears a plain t-shirt, not an expensive suit. Or that person who makes a big point of telling you, oh, I don't even use social media. Those are incredibly powerful signals of confidence, of being so secure you don't even have to try. When you step back and look at it, what the internet really did was take this subtle, ancient social dance and turn it into a high-speed, high-stakes economy. It's amplified and accelerated signaling in a way we've just never seen before. Just think about it. Every single post is a signal. Your follower count is a signal. Every perfectly curated photo is an entire identity package. Even your silence online, that's a signal.
It is absolutely relentless.
So where does that leave us? If we're all trapped in this game, how do we play it without completely losing ourselves? The real goal here is to move from just unconsciously performing all the time to signaling with real intention.
Because, let's be honest, living only for the signal is toxic. It creates this awful downward spiral of constant comparison, of deep insecurity, of being addicted to validation from strangers. It makes you afraid to show your real, unpolished self. When everything is a performance, nothing feels authentic anymore. But here is the most empowering thing to remember in all of this. You cannot stop signaling. It's just part of being human. But by understanding the system, you can consciously choose your signal. You can finally stop being controlled by what you think other people want to see and start actually controlling your own message.
The world is always going to be reading you. That's a given. So the only real question left is, who exactly do you want them to see?